my official remarks at the inauguration of Republican Hindu Coalition. As you can see, I am bubbling with enthusiasm from just the name that we have a historic moment of Republican Hindu Coalition. Having watched the Republican Jewish Coalition, RJC, work to achieve its goals, and after conferring with many prominent Hindu Americans who you have seen on the dais today, I was inspired to found RHC. I could not have done it without support of my dear friends on the dais and many of you, a lot of you in the audience. Thank you. And thank you all in the audience for helping us form this RSC. At RSC, we welcome Hindu Americans from not just from India, but also Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Africa, Europe, elsewhere in the world. As many of you know, Hinduism is much more than a religion. It's a way of life of all faiths that were born in Bharat, in India, that is Hindu. And in fact, the actual name of our country, which is going to become Hindustan in one way, but actually our constitutional name is Bharat. So we're going to start raising that issue as well. That is, India ultimately should become Bharat is the constitutional name. India's economy is growing faster than any other given its size. Such growth has a huge impact on trade and prosperity all over the world. India's position of leadership in the region makes it United States' most important ally. The election of Narendra Modi as India's new Prime Minister showed a dramatic shift on the part of India's populace towards an ideology that values more economic freedom and opportunity with limited, smaller government. These are values shared by the Republican Party in the United States, given shared commitments to 4 principles. We are coining these 4 principles: free enterprise, fiscal discipline, strong family values, and firm foreign policy. I believe it is our duty as successful and influential Hindu Americans to ensure that the ties between India and the United States, the world's 2 largest democracies, grow even stronger. RSC can and will play a very important role in this mission. RSC shall build a common, unified, one platform so that Hindu Americans have a voice. Not just a voice, a big voice, a thundering voice on the policy tables of both the United States and India. As you have heard and seen, we are aided in this important effort by our honorary chair, the esteemed former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, who spoke to you earlier. We are really blessed to have his guidance as we embark on this mission. I have worked for many years laying the groundwork for the launch of RSC. This includes meetings with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and important House committee chairs, as well as trips to India with House leadership, including Kathy Rogers, the Republican Conference Chair. In addition to Senator McConnell, who you have heard a few moments ago, I am pleased to have seen on this podium Senators Rob Portman, Senator Ron Johnson, Kelly Ayotte, as well as House leaders Ed Royce, you have probably met in the VIP room, as well as Chairman Pete Sessions and Chairman George Holding. Their appearance and support to RSC is very much appreciated. I do not think there is any organization in the history of the United States has been started with that many senators and congressmen all come together to celebrate the formation of any organization. I believe RSC is destined to become a very important organization in the effort to shape the views of the Republican Party. We need to change the Republican Party too in certain respects. And we need to ensure that the Republican Party policies towards India are consistent with what we seek for. I'll give you a little bit of an example of a few years ago. I got back involved in politics, or let's say policy, more than politics, policy, in 2011 after bin Laden was shot when he was hiding in Pakistan. So there was a congressman, Ted Poe, out of Texas, who introduced a bill to cut off foreign aid to Pakistan. And 2 weeks after he introduced the bill, I decided to go see him. And you know what he said? He said, I didn't know if I thought there were no Indian Americans in the United States. Because in those 2 weeks, while he had introduced this bill, his phone lines were jammed with Pakistani nationals. He was visited, called over and over again by the generals in Pakistan as to what the heck you are doing. All the lobbyists Pakistan has in Washington, and there were no voice. There was nothing from Indian Americans, and we decided, a small group at that time, to go change that. So I'm not going to get into a lot of detail of that. In that process, I'd like to acknowledge somebody who worked very heavily with me, is my friend Bhailal Patel. He was a big help in getting petitions signed to be sending to various congressmen. Another major, let's say, asset we had, there was a poll that was conducted by Fox News that said that 84% of Americans were in favor of cutting off foreign aid to Pakistan. So you see, we have to learn how politics works. 84% of Americans in favor of cutting off foreign aid to Pakistan. However, out of a total of 435 congressmen and 100 senators, there were only 4 congressmen that were in favor of cutting foreign aid to Pakistan. They all, including Republicans, were for continuing to give foreign aid to Pakistan. And we went to work. I practically lived for 1 year in DC, and within 1 year, to the surprise of Pakistani generals and lobbyists and everybody, we were able to change that vote from 4 to 250, and we were able to cut off foreign aid to Pakistan.